Hello everyone, welcome to Music Business University. I'm excited to have you here today, and let's do a little introduction. My name is Joshua Jeremiah. I'm a music producer and a record executive. And in this first video, we are going to dive into the basics of the music industry, which includes what it is, how it works, and the key things you need to know as you begin your journey into this vast world of music and the music business. Now, this course in particular is for artists, producers, songwriters, managers, or anyone curious about the music business. The music industry can seem like a very confusing maze, I'm not gonna lie, but don't worry. That's why we are watching this video. We are going to break it down together and learn the step-by-step ways on how you can navigate this complex maze. So, first things first, let's talk about what the music industry is. Simply put it this way, the music industry is made up of everything and everyone involved in the creation, production, distribution, and monetization of music. It's not just the artists you see on stage or you hear on Spotify. There is a whole network of people and business working behind the scenes to bring music to life and to get you listening to it and enjoying everything about it. So let's think of the industry as a big ecosystem at the top, right? At the top, you've got the artists, the creators, and the performers, which includes you potentially. Then we have people supporting them, which include the songwriters, producers, and recording engineers, and everyone that makes music in the studio or maybe an outdoor place. And then after that, you've got managers, record labels, distributors, and publicists, and then marketers. And then there is a tech side, which is the streaming platforms, the music publishers, and then the licensing agencies. The list goes on and on. It's a lot. And all these parts are working together to make music a full-time business. Now, the music industry is often categorized into two, which is the major and the independent sectors. The major labels are like Universal Music, Sony, and Warner, and they have extensive resources that can take an artist from point A to point B on a global scale because they have a global distribution network. Meanwhile, independent labels, on the other hand, they offer creative freedom and typically give artists larger share of the profits, though you don't get much money. There's no financial backing. Here's the first big thing you need to know. Number one, music is both an art and a business. As much as we all love to create music, to write songs, and to produce track and perform live, the reality is that the music industry is a business. And if you want to make a career out of it, you have to treat it like one. That means you have to get a knowledge of how money flows through the industry, who gets paid, and how they even get paid in the first place, because all this combines into a big knowledge that you can use for a lot of things. Now, this is a basic example of how money moves in the industry. When you create music, you have to distribute it, which traditionally in the past was run through labels. But today, everything has been simplified. We have more options like going independent or using platforms like TuneCore, 1RPM, and DistroKid. Then there are streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube. They pay out royalties based on how many times your music is streamed. But this is where it gets complicated. This is very important. It is not a big ton of money per stream. So artists often need multiple income streams to build a sustainable career out of music. Now, this leads me to the next point, which is don't rely on just one revenue stream. Streaming is great, right? But it's not enough. Most successful artists are making money from a mix of streams. Let me give you some of the examples. We have merchandise, we have touring, we have what we call sync licensing, which means you get money from music used in TV, commercials, films, and video games. We'll be explaining that later in this course. We have physical sales like selling vinyl, and then we have brand deals. There's a lot that goes in the music industry. Now, diversifying your income is key to getting what we call long-term success in the music industry. For example, now, touring is where a lot of artists, especially bigger names like Wizkid, Shakira, Drake, make a significant portion of their income. If you're able to sell merch while on tour, that's even better. It's a bigger advantage for you because people can buy it as tickets and also support you in numerous ways. Now, sync licensing is another great avenue. Imagine hearing your song in a movie and a commercial. What's going to happen in your mind? It only gives you not the exposure, but the money that comes with it gives a lot of avenue for you to spend on promotion. Now, that brings us to a big part of the business, which is the point number 3, networking and relationships. In the music industry, right, like any other industry, it is built on relationships. It's not just about how talented you are, it's about who you know and then how you can collaborate to grow together. From finding the right producer to getting connected with a good manager, right? Building a team that believes in your vision can be a game changer for every beginner. That was the first stepping stone for me. I had a lot of support from people that I brought on board to help me with stuff. And then when you are starting out, you have to go to events, you have to reach out to other artists or people in the industry and collaborate with them as much as possible. And then here is a major pro tip, right? Be a good person to work with, because the industry is smaller than you think and your reputation also matters. If you don't have a good reputation, a lot of things will go sideways for you, which I'll be talking about it later in the course. So let's do a recap real quick. First thing I said is the music industry is an ecosystem and you need to understand how the music side works. And the second thing is don't rely on just one revenue stream. Diversify. Then the third, I said focus on building relationships and your reputation. This could open doors that talent alone might not. And then we have so many other things that we'll be learning subsequently, so you need to pay more attention, and you're welcome once again to the Music Business University. One last thing before we wrap up this section is take your time, because building a career in the music industry happens not just overnight. It's about consistency and how diligent you are. You are going to face challenges, you are going to learn a lot on your way, and you are probably going to fail at some point, but that's all part of the journey, okay? So you need to stay passionate about the music, but keep your head in the business. Thanks for watching this episode, right? And then the Music Business University is going to be your go-to. And if you find this video very helpful, I'm sure you need to watch the next part to get a total, full understanding of what's going to happen, because in our next lesson, we'll dive deeper into each sector, starting with the recording industry. We'll later explore how labels and indie artists function. Then we need to understand the revenue side of things, which is the revenue streams, and then the exciting process of how music creation works in general. So thanks for watching this part. Looking forward to seeing you guys in the next session. Let's simplify the music business together and equip you with the knowledge you need to navigate this fascinating industry.